else can help. And if you can find them, you can watch the vApe team.
Word up, son. Word.
Yeah. To all the killers and the $100 billers. For real, niggas who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now.
Everybody, we are live. Welcome to episode 24 of the vApe team. I'd like to welcome you all to this live showing. I have some special guests with me tonight, or a special guest, the one and only D. Jaquith, a.k.a. David Jaquith. And he's with us. He's having a vape. He's got some gear to show. He's got some stories to tell. And he's probably going to set us all on the right track to vaping ecstasy. So I'd like to ask Mikey Vapes to turn off his speaker. Thank you, Mikey. He's having a vape. He's got. Very nice, Mike. Thank you.
I always do that. It's my signature.
Yeah, it's Mike's signature introduction. He likes to have the intro to the show going.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my name is Brian. I have a channel on YouTube called The Vapor Chronicles. With me tonight is the beautiful and talented Butt Kickers, a.k.a. BK Baracus from Butt Kickers Reviews. BK?
How you doing, folks? I'm tonight, vaping on the usual. Sub-Zero mod. This is the Kennedy Comp and a little bit of beardy liquid. That's what I'm doing.
Bless you, Mike.
Thank you.
Was that a sneeze? Was that a sneeze?
Cough.
It was a cough. Well, anyway, bless you anyway, my son.
That's it.
You know we have the Pope coming to Philadelphia, Mike.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's gonna fuck traffic up for all of us.
You ain't joking.
I know. Anyway, so I'd also like to introduce who has already introduced himself, Mikey motherfucking Vapes. What's up, Mike?
Hello, everybody. Hello. Yeah, what am I vaping tonight? Limitless. I got my new sleeve with the Stro RDA. I'm also vaping with the Sigeli, with the Velocity. Little SMY 60TC with the Kangatech. Subtank Mini, Murdered Out Edition. And IPVD2 with a nickel coil and the Crown Tank. And juices. Juices, I'm using this V-Clouds juice right here called Strawberry Dessert. What else I got here? I got Ruby Roo's juice line here. I have one of her flavors called Mai or Me or something like that. Me. What else do I got? I got the Milkman and Keyberry. Is it Keyberry? Something like that. Keyberry yogurt, whatever the name is. In here.
Yeah. That is a nice buffet you have there, Mike. Is that all your
4 devices?
4.
Yeah.
Should we have limits on this show, because we could go on for like 20 minutes about what we're vaping.
Well, damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I brought 8.
Yeah. See, I do
go on
that.
for freaking 3 days.
Well, you know what? I could continue if you guys want.
No. We're all
vaping
be
these.
here until morning.
I got more. If you want me to
Oh, I have no doubt, brother. You trump us all.
David, you're entitled to have 8 because you have to fill in for the weeks you're not on the show.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry about it. It didn't come on last week. I had a couple things coming in from Europe that I kind of wanted to share on the show, and they got there, as you typically would imagine, Friday morning, but a little late for Thursday. I do want to share a new mod that I've got. Nico, you probably all heard about Nico. He uses the SX350J. It doesn't use the Mini. I mean, it's basically the same chip. It's just branded a little bit differently. And anyway, if you can see, I've got get it straight in there. My initials, DGJ, and everybody's wondering, how come 1643? If you search Jaquith 1643, then you'll know. And then on the back, I've got my family crest. He laser engraved all that stuff. And then on top of there,
family crest?
Yeah, family crest. I thought it was cool. Well, you know, it's one of those things that just felt like treating myself. Remember when you started to treat yourself for your birthday? Well, this is my between birthday and my daughter's birthday, heading towards Christmas. Just like shit of it. In the mood. You know, every so often I'll run across Nico, and I'll see, you know, when he puts his new mods up there, and I'll have one that if I, you know, that I really like, and if I get it, great. If I don't, screw it. And I was so obsessed about this one that came out because I liked how the colors were. Kind of neat where you got the blues and you got the browns and there. It's all kind of mixed up. Anyway, I had my credit card information copied, so all I had to do is paste, and I had all the other stuff memorized. Between the time I clicked and had it on and the time it was in the checkout was like about 3 seconds. And I wound up getting, it was number 420. Anyway, on top of there, of all things that you would think I would put on top of it, you're going to be surprised when I'm going to tell you that this is my favorite Addy of the day. And you probably can't guess what that is. But anyway, that is a Kanger
Sub-tank with
Yep.
yeah,
plastic and glass. That's it. Let me tell you this. If you all have priced out Typhon GT2s, then you know how much those are.
yes.
If you priced out Genesis Mark IIs, then you know how, those were the two that I was waiting on, how much they are. This one, as cheap as it is, beats the shit out of all of them with spades. Not even close.
Why don't you share where you got them?
I got, gee, I can't remember. The same place I was, there's something DE. I got them from Germany. Same place in Germany.
And you said they're plastic, they're not glass?
Pardon me?
I'm sorry.
This is plastic, yes, and it's all stainless steel. But then the same thing with the bottom here is you've got plastic on the bottom as well. Yes, this is plastic. I don't like the idea that they're mixing plastic in there. But
Well, there you go. An expert vapor like David loves that device, so run out and get it because holy shit, it looks pretty as hell.
I can tell you the newest one is a piece of shit that I wouldn't recommend to anybody, and I freaking hate it. I mean, I feel like running over with my car, and you guys have reviewed it. That Triton. Now I have not. Now let me rephrase it. I'm using an RBA section on there. I have tried horizontal. I've tried a dozen different. Well, I shouldn't say a dozen, maybe 8 different vertical coils, and it's a pain in the ass. The best one that I ever had was a mistake coil that I did, which was nickel, and then I wanted it. A lot of times I've got 10 times as much. Well, until recently, I had 10 times as much nickel as I did titanium. So I'll do some experimental temperature controls. You know, if I want to throw out the metal, I don't really care. You know, with nickel, because I've got. Didn't you get that 100-foot roll of it, of the tempered 28? I think that's stuff that you were, you know, talking about.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was tempered 26.
Well, yeah, I've got 26, 28. I got them both.
Yeah.
One thing, because I know that, whoa, we're going to talk about titanium. And Subsonic sent me a few to try out. This is the first thing I ever got for free, other than what you sent me, that mod, which is awesome.
David, I just want to tell you that Mike and BK left. Oh, there's BK. Go ahead.
What should we talk about?
No,
anyway,
what was that?
I just want to say that I've got a bunch of titanium that I've been testing from Subsonic Vapes. I tried their batch that they're actually on their 3rd batch that I'm aware of anyway. The original batch was really good. It was polished. And then they came up, then they were out. Everybody was out for a period of time. And then they came out with their first batch, which was, did you ever see that really gray wire that you don't think is titanium that looks uglier in hell?
Yeah, you think it's like left out in a field?
Yes, that's actually raw titanium wire. And let me see if I've got it to where I can compare it. Yeah, here we go. This is going to be really difficult to see. So I'm going to put them right next to one another, so you can see the difference between when they polish them. Remember when I was complaining too that, gee whiz, it doesn't seem like the gauge was right? They were advertising 24 and it owned out more like 25. Well, what they do, as I found out, is they take 24 gauge, they mill it down, they shine it up, and then, guess what you're left with? You lose a gauge in the process. Can you see the difference between these two? These are exactly the same exact wires. There's no difference whatsoever with these wires. But do you see the difference about how they're finished?
It's kind of blurry.
All right, let me see if I can do this. Now, let's see here. Hold on. Because I think this is kind of important, and the only way I can do it possibly is to uplink. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some pictures, high-res pictures, after the show, and then people will be able to see them up there. Does that work any better? I don't think so. Can you see it any better this way? I can just tell you this, just in describing it. Dull and gray, and it looks like a oxidized piece of aluminum, if you can picture that for a second. That's raw titanium. Polished titanium, you're typically, and I think this is pretty global with everybody because I think everybody's getting their titanium from the same, or a lot of people are getting it from the same place. What's going on is they're taking, like, say, 24 gauge. Then they're putting it and they're I don't know, grinding it somehow, and they're making it all smooth, so they're losing a gauge in the process. So, and I told them that, and so they said in future batches what they're going to be doing is, for example, if you want 24 gauge, they're going to be, trying to get 23 gauge. That's funny. And by the time they get it all polished up, then you'll have your 24 gauge, if that makes any sense.
Now, do you have a preference?
Yes. I've tried 22, 26, 24, what turns out to be 25, and I actually prefer the 25, which is the polished 24. 24 or 25, they're not selling 24, they're not selling 25, but they're polished 24 is indeed 25 gauge. I find that the 24 gauge that they're selling on their website is by far the best one to get, and I highly recommend it. I've tried 22. 22 is okay if you're going to do like a single build, a single coil. I think probably in a dripper, and you'll also have to have something that's got a lot of power. For example, we're going to be talking later about the Diacodes 2380. The problem that I've run across with Diacodes 2380 is its sweet spot for nickel really is not anything lower than about a 0.1. Even though I know it goes down to 0.05, I've lost count how many times when I've done that overcurrent protection thing. And the same thing with nickel. I found that the best is about 0.2 to 0.25, maybe 0.3 on your bills with titanium, I meant to say. So,
and when you say it's not good, what is the reason? It's not consistent, or it's not vaping right?
It doesn't have enough power. It doesn't have enough power. So you're going to have a lot of times what you're going to do is you're going to get that. There's an overcurrent. I think it's error number 4 that you'll see on the Diacodes.
Yeah.
And if it goes where between, there's a combination of, okay, yes, it can fire down to 0.05 for, let's say, nickel, okay? But the reality is that then it has no power to place to it. Then you're like stuck to some ridiculously low 10, 15, 20 at the extreme most joules, watts of power. And so it won't be able to fire properly. So you won't be able to hit your temperature. So you keep on running 310 degrees and 350 degrees. And let's say it got set at 450 degrees. And so it's kind of a pain in the dick in that regard. Unless you take the Diacodes, that's super funny, Mike.
I'm trying to make you laugh.
I see all the shit. You just now here, Mike, get on the show. You got get on the TV there. Do that again. Snap your fingers. No, man, you had it in your nose, brother.
And I'd like to thank Mike for that wonderful intermission.
Yeah, I was trying to talk serious, and I'm seeing him with two mods stuck up his nose. So anyway, with the Diacodes, the 23T, you can actually add 2 batteries to it. Then you don't have any problem. I've done it that way, and then you don't have any problem. But then you got a baton. I mean, who wants to carry around something that's literally this long? Kind of defeats the whole purpose of a small thing. It does not have the same amount of power, for example, for a single battery as, let's say, an SX350J. It just doesn't. But I find that it's a little bit smoother, as we were talking about earlier, than the. It's probably the best temperature control chip of the bunch as far as being smooth. And what I mean by smooth, you don't have the pulsation in nickel, you don't have the pulsation in titanium, and that's a big damn deal.
Have you stacked batteries in that thing yet?
Yes, I've done that, and then like I said, if you do stack batteries, and it's like a baton, I mean it's super long.
It's aggressive and threatening.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you hit somebody over the head, they're done for. But, I mean, for the most part, what I would really recommend on the Diacodes is I would go with single coil no matter what you're doing with it. I find that that's the best all around. It doesn't have the power to throw, like, for example, where is it? I've got a dual titanium in here that comes out to about 0.15. It can fire it on this, but it's so weak it just doesn't have enough wattage. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I have to turn the wattage down, otherwise I keep on getting an error with it. Have you run across the errors with yours?
I did initially, and then lately it hasn't been coming up with errors.
Well, have you been doing single or dual coil on them?
Single.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. I never had any problem with single until I started throwing some dual coils in there.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about the DNA 200 with all that adjustment that you can do on the software?
Actually, you know, I kind of like it. I was talking to everybody earlier. I was going to bring my DNA 200 on, and I don't have any idea. This is what it is right now because I had a tip to completely tear it apart. I had a chip to go for no reason. I was right in the middle of vaping and then just died on me. Have you heard about anybody blowing their chips? Their
No.
boards? I can't get it to run. I've tried 2 different batteries in it. I'm going to have to send it back to Evolve, or I'm going to have to just take it in the ass for $80, not to mention several hours of my time.
How was it vaping when it worked?
I had no problems with it. You know, I like that I can get in there and I can actually even take it, for example, a working titanium, and I can mess around and I can, you know, change my coefficient, if you want to call it, my curve a little bit. Have you experimented with any of that?
No, I haven't. I'm still waiting on my first DNA 200 to come. Maybe next week sometime.
One thing that some people may be interested in is, let me show you this. Let's see if you can see it. It says "Goodbye, David," and then you see it where it'll pop up "Yee-hee," and then I'm probably upside down. And then you can put whatever logo that you want, similar to what you can do.
Hashtag not a troll.
You can put hashtag, if you can fit it, let's put it this way, if you can fit it in there, you can put hashtag not a troll. Has anybody on their SXs tried to hack the menu?
No, I have not.
Anyway, there's
No,
an
not
application
yet
out there.
today, no.
I gave my DNA 200 away.
Basically, anything that's graphical in it except the Yee-hee that starts out, and I wish to God they'd figure that out, you can change it to whatever you want. And so me, I've got, when it fires up, DGJ 1643, and then goodbye, David.
Now, can you put the Jaquith family crest on there?
It would be a blotch, but yes. I'll tell you one that would be cool on. You remember the old SX350, not the J, but the squared one with the big screen?
Yes.
Probably get that in.
That would be epic, man.
Yeah, you would. I mean, the resolution is pretty damn, you know, sad. I mean, you know.
You should have like a secret passage in your room behind you where you like put the Jaquith family crest into the like hole and then turn it. And open the door.
Well, I think you saw that one other the dual SX350J that the guy screwed up and I sent it back to him. Hi, I see you, Mike. Eyeball.
That's
Mike,
awesome.
you want to do jumping? I think we're gonna have jumping jacks time for Mike because he's got a lot of energy tonight.
I know a bunch of people were hitting me up they wanted to ask me questions tonight on titanium. Did you see any questions?
Any questions? Somebody put to the Jaquith cave.
Well, not a Vooper. Hashtag not a Vooper. Work that mod, BK. Hit that shit, Mike. Oh, Daniel, which diet codes do you have? And want to trade? Someone wants to trade, I guess.
I've got the.
I'm trading Spit. If anybody wants to trade Spit.
Oh, the vape team banner needs to move. It's covering up some of BK's window. LOL. I was going to actually mention that. That little symbol with the vape team, it covers up whoever's on the corner. Their face.
I see a question in here. Do I build titanium the same as nickel? No. Nickel is kind of weird. It depends really what mod that you're going to be on. I would tell people this. If I was just going to throw a resistance out there for nickel to aim towards between, I don't care what mod it is, 0.10 to about 0.15, somewhere in there. As far as the same number of coils and things like that, that's the problem with nickel is it takes a shit ton of wraps to get your resistance up. For example, I'll tell you, this is the cool thing about titanium. I build titanium the same exact way as I do Kanthal. So if I can do a Kanthal build with dual coil with a 2.5 millimeter or a 3 millimeter or whatever it is, I build them exactly the same, and then I adjust for the heat coefficient.
What is your feelings about stainless steel for temperature control?
I really haven't, other than that metal that came with the decodes. That's really about the closest thing. But that's like a nickel ferrite, if I think about that. That's not stainless steel.
David, what coefficient setting and for what gauge and type of titanium?
The titanium that I have, and I'm using grade 1 titanium, the one we were talking about before the show is this Sweet Vapes titanium. This is a titanium alloy. If you got a mod that works just on titanium, has a titanium sediment, in other words, you can't do any heat coefficient or whatever the heck it is, do not use this because you will not have temperature control correctly with it. It's an alloy. On the decodes, I think it's Brian, isn't it 350 if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's 350 on the decodes.
For what?
Titanium. I'm pretty certain it is. And then it's like 620 for nickel.
Yeah, 350 for titanium. Yeah.
Yeah.
620 for nickel. Now, what are those numbers global, David, or are those just for the die codes?
Pretty much for the die codes. The way the Evolve works is that you've got a resistance to temperature graph or chart, like through like an Excel spreadsheet that you input, and it makes up its own heat coefficient per se. Because the thing is this is the bad thing about heat coefficient. Heat coefficient suggests this, a 45-degree or a constant ratio. This doesn't work that way. Some of these wires will heat like this. You know, they won't be straight. They won't be linear. They'll have some plateauing, or they'll curve down. In other words, they're not exact straight lines, and that's the advantage to the DNA. The problem with the DNA is it only allows you to put 4 frickin' numbers in there, 4 sets of coordinates for resistance and temperature. In other words, whatever this resistance is, this is the coordinating temperature.
So, BK, how do you feel about that?
Honestly, I think all of this is as boring as whale shit. Just saying, and I know Mikey agrees with me.
I don't think that. I think there's a lot of people that like to know this stuff, and I think it's pretty important.
That's why we're letting you guys talk. We basically.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, do your thing. I just find it extremely painfully boring.
Well, I don't know. I think the thing is this, if you noticed, a lot of the mods are going to temperature control. And I think that the thing that a lot of people are confused about right now is where can they get titanium that's going to work? Considering that there are other wires out there. You know, this is the wire that I recommend. This is the wire I've been using. This is the wire that's dead on accurate. It's Titan wires. It's sold by Subsonic Vape. The 24 gauge to start out with. I've used some 26 gauge with it. It works fine. I just like the vape that I'm getting. It's the same thing as Canthal. Do you like 28 gauge, or do you like to use 22 gauge or 20 gauge? I don't even know gauges you guys are on now. If you're going to build single coil BK on Canthal, what gauge are you using?
I use 24 for everything.
Well, there you go. And the thing is this though, BK. How much more difficult it is, let's say, for example, I know you mentioned on the last show, because you kind of quoted me with it, and I agree with it. Temperature control can be boring from a vape standpoint.
No, I mean, honestly, no, seriously, seriously, I understand it. I understand it thoroughly. It just bores me to tears talking about it. That's all. I'll sit here and get drunk. You guys can mentally masturbate over temperature control. I'm good.
Hey, Brian, what's your favorite mouth-to-lung Addy that you got?
Currently, I've been using this bored-out Russian.
Is that's like one that guy made for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's really good. And I also like the Aspire Triton with the 1.5 or 1.8 ohm coils. That's really good for mouth to lung too.
I'll take your word for it. I saw that coil and I saw how restricted it was. There's restrictive and there's, oh my God, restrictive.
Yeah. The vape's pretty good.
Does it? Even 1.8? Because I know it's all reduced. It was that was about 2 millimeter. I'd say about 2 millimeter hole in it. Isn't that about the size coil, vertical coil?
Yeah. It's a vertical coil, but it is a restricted draw. But the flavor's good and it handles wattage pretty good. So I like it.
Have you tried any of the European, other than the Diacodes or Diacodes? Have you tried any other European Addies or anything?
No, I have not. I haven't really been. I've been trying actually. I was talking to Daniel the other day from the lab, and he told me about boring out the Limo 2 here, so it wicks better.
Yeah.
So I ended up drilling a 3 millimeter hole in each side, and this thing's been vaping like a champ for like 2 days now. So I've been really happy with it.
Other than I mean, for inexpensive, I use this as well. I agree. But if you do with temperature control, you've got to at least take the 510 out and you've got to sand it. Have you?
Yeah,
have you
I don't use
problems
this
with
for
sanding
temperature
it?
control.
Okay.
Huh?
No, I understand. If you're going to do temperature control, though, you got to take the 510 out of it. And pretty much with any of these Addies where they've got the press fit 510, the first thing I do, I don't even screw around with it. I just take out the 510 and I sand them. Now with the Atlantis, has anybody done any RBA section with it? What's your thoughts?
You mean the Triton?
I'm sorry. Yes, I meant the Triton. Expired Triton.
I don't like that RBA at all. Go ahead, Mike.
I did it in my video. I think I hit it like 16 consecutive times. I couldn't get a dry hit.
Rebuild, you mean?
Yeah.
But I've noticed though that I'm not getting any density to it at all. It goes like hit or miss. It'll either work great or work like shit. It's a pain in the dick. If I've got to rebuild something 10 times over again to get it right, I mean, there's no point in doing it.
The best RBA build deck, RBA base, that's in a sub-ohm tank. Actually, there's two. The Goliath version 2, I think, is the best. That's all. I love it. And this too. The Smoke TFE4, the RBA base for this is badass. Those are my two that I like. But the Goliath, this one you got to get this, David.
Let me ask you this, because I almost ordered it. Let me tell you the reason I didn't order it in a nutshell. I won't use pre-built coils, period. I mean, I'll take them apart and I'll look at them and I'll use them as paperweight. I mean, that's just not the way I'm wired. The problem that I had with the Goliath 2, going from the Goliath 1, the Goliath 1 is at least the positive is solid. It didn't have this removable base problem. You got another. They took a relatively good RTA, and I think the only thing that's really the difference, tell me if I'm wrong with it, is the removable deck now, and instead of it being like here's the old one with this wide part in there.
I never had that, so I don't know, but I could show you. I mean, it's easier to watch it on my video, but to see it, but like,
Right.
I mean, there's the 510 right there.
Well, see, the difference is it's press fit in there now, because you can unscrew that. You can unscrew the base. Well, the problem with temperature control is you don't want to unscrew your base. You know what I'm saying? Because you got your positive connection all of a sudden not making contact. Right, you know what I'm saying.
Well, you're using the Zephyrus, aren't you?
I've got the Zephyrus.
That one's a state.
The Zephyrus. The Zephyrus is okay. Certainly, it's not by far. It's not my favorite.
Made by the same company.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. By this one. This one is, I think, better than the.
Oh, I would agree. What you may want to try at some point, because I think it's down. They're dirt cheap, like $20 now. Is the Goliath V1?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah, I just don't like the look of it.
Well, see, that's the only difference. I think that the looks changed because it doesn't have that band sticking out there anymore. And I think the difference is for temperature control people, once they get really good at it, they don't like anything press fit because it means to them, or should mean to them anyway, that their base net, the resistance isn't going to be consistent. In other words, they can be doing this, and the reason it's doing that is because it's shorting on that 510. You get juice in there in between those two connections, and that's it. That's all she wrote.
And then the base from the Zephyrus actually fits in the Goliath version too. So you can use that base if you want, alternate, whatever.
Well, let me tell you this. From a coil standpoint, from a replacement coil, the thing I liked about their stuff is that they're all stainless steel. They're not brass with chrome,
Right.
and a lot of these things are. Have you done the RBA with your crown?
Yeah, I got a video for that too. That one too, I had no problem. I think that one too, I hit it off like 10 times straight. I couldn't get it dry.
Yeah,
No leak.
mine works beautifully.
You did it too, right? You did a build in it too. You did a video.
Yeah, that's honestly that's the best single coil RBA section for any Clearo I've ever used.
Out of the box, I would agree. I mean,
Yeah.
most of what everybody's doing, it's like with the Limo, it's the same thing with this. I mean, if you think this RBA section is stock, you're kidding yourself. I mean, I've done, the thing that drives me nuts is that I think that in China what they're using is, you're using 50-50 or something. I think the juice that they've got out there is not the same juice as what we're used to using here, which is
Well, their
70,
max
80,
VG,
90.
excuse me, their max VG they mix with distilled water, so everything is like 50-50 over there, even the max VG stuff. Just saying.
Well, no, I would completely agree, because it doesn't seem like a fundamental problem that we're having, at least here in the States, other than a handful of RTAs, is that we're having juice issues.
Well, no, that's why they release these tanks with big airflow and tiny juice channels, because their juice works beautifully in it. And if they put big juice channels in it like we want, it floods like freaking crazy, and they think we're nuts. They think we're all stupid. There's a couple companies that get it, like Ude, and Crown, but there's not many.
BK, why is that?
Pardon?
Why is that?
Because the stuff that they're using to test is much thinner than our stuff.
Huh.
Well, Smoke got it too. If you see the juice channels in the RBA base here, they're massive.
Well, the TFV4.
Yeah.
I have that. I haven't vaped it yet, though.
Well, you
that
got
thing is killer, isn't it?
Yeah, try the RBA base. You're gonna love that. Just for
I'm
build.
trying to get caught up. I have like 6 more videos dropping.
Yeah, you've been on a tear lately, BK. What have you been doing, man?
Reviewing and reviewing some more and reviewing. Like, if I stopped reviewing tomorrow, reviews would still go up for a week. They're all sitting in queue.
That's awesome.
I guess. I'm trying to get caught up so I can get current.
Kind of going a step backwards to a step forwards. I know you used to, VK, you used to like the Cthulhu.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good tank.
Heard that they're coming out with the Cthulhu 2. Have you?
Yeah, I've been in contact with them. I hope I get that soon.
Yeah, I saw some pictures of it. It looks pretty innovative.
It looks nice, yeah.
Did any of you guys get the Aromamizer RDTA or whatever? Mike, did you get that?
Mike probably has it.
No, but I got a message for Daniel. I got liquid in a solo, and it lets me take half a hit only, and then it goes into temp control. This has started malfunctioning on me, the last one, via solos. Anyway, no, I don't have the Aromamizer.
No. The only reason I brought that up is...
Didn't they already redo that?
Well, I just got a message yesterday, and it had some sort of single coil 3-post deck, and then there was a 2-post deck that looks like all the 2-post decks that are out now, which look pretty neat for building on.
Well, I saw Heathen's review on those, and they just look awesome to me.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So that's coming. I don't even know if those are for sale yet. Hopefully soon.
Have you all run across any good single coil? Something, in other words, in the Limo 2 range type of thing, where it's just single coil coming down the pipe for a tank?
I'm waiting for version 2 of the Cthulhu. It's gonna be badass.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Version 1 was badass. Version 2 better be killer.
Version 1, I think I showed you that stuff, that I had some, really janky machine parts. None of you guys had that problem.
Like I said,
my Goblin was a piece of shit, and yours wasn't. You know what I mean?
No, I had a piece of shit too, and it's Mike
Oh,
that
you
had
did?
the one. Yeah, remember?
Oh, all right.
I agree with you. Yeah, I think that the thing is this: I've got multiple lines, and one guy's really good, and the other guy's, hey, look, I want to, I'm thinking about lunch right now, and he's not really paying attention to his quality control.
Well, look at American Cars. You get Friday afternoon specials here too.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, my Cthulhu, what do you call it? Remember that nut that screwed in on top?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was all janky. I had to put it in opposite way for it to screw properly.
Oh, that little nut.
Yeah. So hopefully, if their machine quality is better, it's going to be a hit.
Well, the problem that I had with mine is that, well, actually, I'll tell you what, I sanded practically the whole damn thing down. The biggest one I'm still having a problem with is this very top ring that pops off, right here where the 510 is. That's the way you're supposed to fill it. You take that thing off, and what it does is it kind of took a K-fun where they have, instead of it being round, it's got one square end to it. So in other words, when you're screwing it down, it allows the air to escape rather than pressurizing it.
Yeah.
And I had the toughest time getting that thing, this part right up here, is where the 510 is, screwed in for refill. I don't really use the tank that much. I was just thinking the only reason I was pulled out the Cthulhu because I knew the Cthulhu 2 was coming out. And one thing I noticed about, and I was talking about European tanks, I was going to show you the top of this thing.
Did you get the Uber 2, David?
No, I still don't have the Uber Toot, and I've also I've tracked down, but I asked Phil about that. Was it? It's not Hercules. It's that other new one that's coming out. God, I'll have to look at it. I'll figure it out in a second.
Oh! I know which one you're talking about. Didn't Damien Mortar just do a review of that?
He's talking about the Hurricane.
Hurricane. Yeah.
Right now, if you go on Fast Tech, you can buy clones. Hurricane.
Yeah, so I saw that for $20. And let me tell you this. Let me tell you the honest God truth why it's such a good idea probably to buy the clone.
I came so close today to buying the Uber Toot for $33, and the quality looks awesome, and good reviews on it too. And the Hurricane.
Just be careful with the Uber Toot. The ones that are for sale right now on Fast Tech, because I was thinking about buying that. Both of those actually is it's the version 1 that you can get. The UTA 2, both of those were sold out. And like a dumbass, I saw it when it first came in. I'm like, because I was waiting for 3 weeks for the thing to come up. And the only reason I sometimes will buy a clone is I'm curious about the airflow. They'll get the airflow right pretty much for the most part. And so before you're going to spend $150 to $200 on some of these crazy tanks, which hey, more power to you. I think the thing is if you get one, sight unseen, you're taking somebody else's word for it. I just as soon wait. I mean, how about you? Wouldn't you rather waste $20 to find out, hey, this is good or bad, rather than waste $200 and oh my God, what did I buy?
No, I agree with you, but I'll
the Velocity clone is an example.
I'll try a clone, but I won't review them anymore. I'm not reviewing clones anymore.
Well, I never said to review one. I'm just saying for.
No, I said I'll vape one. I'll buy one. I'll try it, to see if I like it. But I'm not. Yeah, I can't.
Clones. He is not reviewing clones anymore. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it first on the Vape Team.
What the hell's that?
What the hell was that noise before? It sounded like someone was farting.
Seriously.
I don't know
like
what the heck
aliens
that was.
invaded and shot us with a laser beam. That was China trying to intercept. They were mad I'm not doing clones anymore.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
Well, this Genesis, though, I wanted to talk about it for a second. I do like how they did the deck. This is an authentic here. And the way you have to do it is, if you see it, I'm going to fire it. I'm just doing a single coil with it. They're vertical coils. And what you do is sort of like the lamp that you got. Remember the old lamps where it had the wick went all the way down into the base? That's the way it got the wick up. So anyway, this cotton goes from the very top here all the way down to the bottom of the tank, and then they got it, slosh across the bottom. That's the way it gets the wick in. And then to fill it up, if you can see it, there's like a little pin right here, and you just unscrew it, got it out.
What
course
the
it's gonna
fuck did I do here?
Good. And then this little pin comes out. You see that little hole there? You fill it in. I can use my dropper easy. You just fill the thing up and you screw this thing. So filling it up is really easy.
What tank is that again?
This is the Mark II, the Genesis Mark II. This is their, I don't know what the hell it's called. It's not really like a regular tank where the tank's on top of it. The tank's actually on the bottom. It's actually more like a Jenny.
Right. I thought, okay, that one's with regular Canthol. Right? Or is that a mesh?
You can do mesh on it. You can do regular Canthol on it. In this case, this is a titanium, 24 gauge titanium I'm running on it. Vertical.
Is that authentic?
This is an authentic. I've tried one of these, so I knew it was a mouthful. It's not a long hit type of thing. Now it does have two. I'd say there are two 2mm holes in it. If you have them both open, you can actually do a restricted lung hit.
Did you hear that sound again? Someone's making noises.
I just fucking dry it like a bitch.
Oh, that was you going. I heard like a. What the fuck? I'm like, there's a hacker making noises in here.
I tried to keep that shit on the DL, but I fucking.
Hashtag try hit that shit.
Oh man. Woo! I tried to keep it on the DL and roll out of the screen, but it didn't
I'm
work.
like, what the fuck? These farting noises up here.
You know what, Mike? I didn't even talk about what I'm vaping tonight.
What are you vaping?
Everyone's like, I don't give a fuck.
Oh. What are you dry hitting, Brian?
Well, I just ran out of juice on this shit. This is from a company called Fix E-Liquid. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. It's called Milky Shake. I got the two flavors that I like the most, and I've been vaping the shit out of them. You can see I only have this much left, and I got these like 2 days ago. A tiny bit left in here. This is like a lemon cheesecake. It tastes a lot like the glass pound cake. And then this Milky Shake is like it's almost like a Cutwood unicorn milk flavor. Really fucking good. So I've been vaping that. I'm also testing out this A Solo, and you know, when it works, but I don't know, man. I've been having issues myself. If I let it sit for a while and I go to pick it up to vape, sometimes it'll say it's dry, and it's not even dry because the tank's full.
I got liquid in mine, and I go to vape. Oh, now it's working. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
And there's liquid in there.
That's that inconsistency that I'm talking about with it.
Now, Brian, have you tried this yet?
What is that?
The Milk 2.
No, I have not. What is the difference between the Milk 1 and the Milk 2?
It's kind of got a more cinnamony taste to it. It tastes a lot better, in my opinion.
Okay, so it's more like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch milk instead of a Fruit Loops milk?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What did I just order? Did you guys ever try the Raging Donut?
Yeah, I got it.
How is it, Mike? I just ordered 120 milliliters of that.
It tastes like French toast to me is what it tastes like. You know, French toast, you put some cinnamon on it. It tastes exactly like that.
This stuff here?
Yeah, that's it.
That's how much I vaped.
And you've had that since the expo, or when did you get that?
Yeah, since the expo.
Yeah.
You want it?
Have any of you guys ever had a battery get down to 0 volts?
Nope.
No.
Remember that PVA piece of shit that I can't stand? Well, apparently I had an Addy that was leaking, and I didn't realize it through the bottom. It got on the chip, fucked up the chip. DNA 40, I don't give two shits. But anyway, I went in there. I cared more about my batteries. I went in there, and I kid you not, I put them on a battery charger. I've never seen it in my life. 0 volts. And I thought, okay, well, I think if you get below like 2.5, the batteries are toast or somewhere in that range. Well, believe it or not, they were at 0. I took them on the charger. They went charged, put them off, put them on. The third time I put them on, all of a sudden I saw the indicators where they were starting to charge. And I managed to charge them back, and the batteries came back. I didn't think that was possible.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hey, Eric. Almost forgot he wanted me to shout him out. There you go. Hey, Eric.
You know, I'm gonna have to. I think I'm gonna close the window for the chat. So I'm sorry, guys. I love reading your comments, but my internet's slow as shit, and I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna close it. My wife also turned off the air once again, so I'm sweating over here. So hopefully, turning off the other channel will get me a little cooler.
I just looked at where I bought my stuff from Europe. It was, I couldn't remember, it's intaste.de. Another tank that I think I told you guys to buy, I just haven't gotten the balls to buy it, I don't know why, it's not that expensive, is the Vapor Giant Mini 2.5. I would recommend getting the, probably the Nano. The other one's huge. That's the reason. That's the only reason I didn't get it.
What is it? What are you talking?
Ah, nice tank right here.
The Vapor Giant Mini. It's another one of those, you know, European tanks.
I'm a peon, European. We're all a peon.
Cloud Pour RTA.
Oh yeah.
4 post, and it's a top fill, and the machining is awesome. Top fill.
What's the airflow like on that, Mikey?
It's how can I describe it? A little less than brown.
All right. That's not bad.
Yeah.
The crown's very airy.
Yeah. No, it's got good air. It's like the Billow. If you've had the Billow version too, it's like that. You pop out the build deck. There's the build deck right there. You guys could check it out.
Nice big juice channels.
Nice juice channels, and see the airflow. It's got like the billow where it protrudes up. So this way, no liquid gets in there.
Yeah, it looks like it has a little bit more airflow than the Cthulhu or the Goblin.
Yeah.
Slightly.
And where's the fill on that, Mike?
Top fill.
I know, but is it like a hinge? Is it a hole? Is it a spinner?
There's like fins here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just grab the fins and unscrew.
Ooh,
Nice, nice. Oh, I like the big holes too for filling.
Yeah. Real nice.
Oh man, I just pulled a fucking Brian.
You copycat.
I start a review for this probably on Monday or
man.
Tuesday. I'll do it.
Are you spitting blood yet, BK? Because if you're not, then you haven't dry headed enough.
Dude, I think the cotton almost caught on fire.
I've had it happen.
It's a low build.
I'm like a handicap vapor. I just can't figure this shit out. I don't know what's the problem.
Dude, listen to this shit. Listen to how rowdy this is.
Hey.
It sounds like firecrackers.
What's your build there, BK?
It's a stainless steel build, spaced coils, 24 gauge, so it's like half the resistance of Canthal. It's low.
Oh, look, it's here. iJoy, a solo. Vivian's here. Hello, Vivian.
It's low like a pair of South Pole jeans back in '96.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, man? Shit,
I feel you,
know
yo.
we did.
Vivian,
Yeah, we did.
problems, Vivian. Problems.
Mikey.
Now it's working. No, it's not working.
It's become a ticking time bomb.
I'm still trying to figure out how they think that they're going to convince anybody that they're going to be able to temperature control Canthal, though.
It doesn't temperature control Canthal. It's a dry hit prevention. That's all it does.
I'd like to even know how dry hit prevention.
It works. It's worked for me a lot of times. It's been working. It just stopped today. Maybe it's because I have to reset it. I'm not sure. I'm going to reset it and try it.
Well, the reason that it doesn't make any sense is because if you're trying to keep up, I don't. Let's put it this way: if you're having a wicking issue, is it going to do anything?
I have it out of dry hit prevention. Perfect.
I mean,
Right, now I'm gonna put it.
most of my Canthal builds are, perfectly fine. It's just that once in a while, oh my God, I either ran out of juice, which is rare. I kind of keep an eye on that, or for some reason I'm not. I put too much cotton in there or whatever. I'm, screwed it up myself.
Yeah. But I should have the retail version any day now for this. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think mine's coming in too, Mike. So I'll be testing that some more.
But other than that, it's a nice device. It's small. It's nice. And for anybody who's interested, if you decide you want to get it, I know Wet Vapes is going to be selling these. I think $130 they're selling them.
I just looked at this because I was kind of curious. We were talking about it, and everybody's like, I think the big new RTA is the Hurricane V1.2. This, in case anybody wants to know, Vape and Art has it listed for $189.95.
It's a hell of a lot of money for a fucking tank.
I'll get the clone.
Well, we don't do clones.
I got the Velocity clone right here. Beautiful.
Can you tell
When
the
is
difference? Or do you have an authentic velocity?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Does it work?
It's fucking awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good. They even made a clone mini Velocity. You get it off Fast Tech for like $10. The mini.
You know what I love on Fast Tech? You'll have like a $20 tank, and there'll be a clone of it. It's like $8.
Yeah, I mean, how the hell do they? It's like Mutation X. When they cloned that, it was already made in China. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Because they didn't clone it. Those
$20
are all the runoffs from the
$17.95
line.
You're right, BK. That's exactly what it is. Or it's
Let me
like,
say
you know...
Not that I care, but you guys said that you're not going to do... And I'm just kind of curious, why no clones anymore? Because of the suppliers that you're dealing with?
No, it's just... To me, it's just... There's no point now. I mean, there's so many cheap authentics. Why bother?
Well, the problem is most of the authentics are, shit. That's the problem.
No, I don't think so.
If there's a good clone, I'll review it. I don't give a shit.
I think there's a lot of good shit out there.
Yeah, there is.
A lot. Like a lot.
Did you say...
It's not like... David, it's not like it was like a couple years ago when we started vaping. I mean, the last 6 months, the game has just totally changed.
Hey, Pegasus Vapor Academy is in the chat.
What's up, Peg?
What's up, Peg?
Hey, Peg, your PVA 40 shitted out on me. Thank you.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Peggy Poo, I'm using your batteries. I love these.
I'm going to show you this so you don't think it was bullshitting.
What are you using, BK?
I'm using Peggy's batteries. I love these things. Love them.
What batteries are they?
They're the LG HB6s. They're wonderful.
Nice.
They're 1500 milliamp, 30 amp discharge, and the only bad thing about them is they hit hard down to like 3.2 volts. So you don't know how low your battery is.
Huh.
In a mech,
Just so you don't think I'm kidding, here's my PVA 40.
David, I'd like to say that we just got cease and desist. So I just got cease and desist emails from some lawyers for you to stop talking about that.
I'll tell you what the problem was. He goes, kiss my ass. Is that this 510 right down here is crap, and the 510 allowed it to leak, and it leaked right in the top of the chip and went. Bye bye.
The struggle's real, man. Leak life.
I was thinking about just getting another one and rebuilding them. Like, do I want to waste, even if I can get one cheap for like $50 someplace, a DNA 40? Do I even want to waste it on that thing that I can't stand? Total waste of money. I think Todd reviewed it. Didn't Todd just review it and basically, same thing as the freaking brick old chip?
I don't know. I thought Todd was on hiatus.
Gizzard wrote, your warranty is void.
Oh my God, life's over, man.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: if I send it back to him, I'd never see it again anyway. So I'm better off with it. What I was thinking about doing is taking the chip out and sending it.
Yeah,
to,
DJ LSB Labs /Vapes wrote the DNA 40 board is water resistant, coated. You should talk to Evolve.
I was thinking about taking it out and sending it back to Evolve.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, let me tell you this. I put a new battery in. Like I said, it drained my batteries down to 0. And then as soon as I put a new battery in the damn thing, all of a sudden it started sizzling. I'm like, oh, fuck. And that's when I started tearing it apart.
Yeah, that's why I put a vape condom over all my devices when I vape.
Well, the problem is you got to put a vape condom inside of most of these 510s.
Yeah, it's went through the 510, right?
Because it's a cheap-ass 510. I mean, like, here's my 510. I don't know if you can see it. Where the damn. You can see that 510 in there. There's nothing going to leak through it. Zero possibility of anything getting through there.
It's just typical Evolve garbage. Okay.
It wasn't Evolve's fault. It was DNA. It was because Peg can't design shit, or the people didn't design stuff. What you do?
Dude, I have like $30 Chinese devices that I've like soaked in the rain and like dumped juice all over them over and over and over, and like nothing ever happens with them.
Re-shit me was Peg? Or, yeah, was Peg really in here?
Yes.
You were joking.
Dude, that's like a Joker laugh.
Oh my God.
Peg is in here. He's listening to you right now, cursing at you.
Let's see. Thanks, John. I see him in there. Hey, Peg. You gonna fix my PBA, brother?
I guess that's that guy that trolls me on my channel.
That's probably what he's gonna say. Well, because he never gets any of his information right. It's the only reason I ever say any damn thing. I mean, you know. Let me tell you this. If you got a wrapped battery, there's only a handful of battery companies. Everything else out there is a wrap. If it's wrapped just like a 25-hour, then it's a bin B 25-hour that Samsung refused to put their own label on. Keep that in mind. Yes, I love Peg. Can't you tell I love Peg?
Anyway, it is 10:57. And on that note, thank you all for a great show. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. I'd like to thank Peg for watching. And especially I'd like to thank David Jaquith, Deidrequith, for filling us in on the titanium stuff, on his new mods, for sharing about tanks. All things. I always love having David on the show, so thanks for joining us, David. And I'd also like to thank my homies, Mikey motherfucking Vapes and BK.
Everybody's in the comments. Don't bitch out, Brian.
Don't bitch out? How am I bitching out?
By ending the show.
Oh. Am I tapping out too soon? All right, I'm just going to I'm going to let it fly. My hands are off the controls. I'm having a coffee. I'm going to drip some shit. And anyway, have fun. You guys can control the show. Thank you.
So, BK, you want to say your goodbyes?
BK, you got the next 20
why
minutes.
not? Well, goodbye, everyone. It was a great show. I almost fell asleep at least 3 or 4 times, but I know there's a couple people in the comments that were enjoying this, so I'm glad you did. I didn't. Bye.
David?
Oh, I'm sorry, BK. I was boring you with titanium. I don't know, man. I get a lot of questions about it. I get people sending me Google Plus messages all the time. When are you going to be on the show next? When are you going to talk about titanium? So, sorry to talk about titanium, but I think that's.
I don't know. You know what? Like, there's probably like 20 people out there that actually give a shit this much. Like, seriously. Like.
What about titanium?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Get the shit, set it up, make it work, vape it. I mean. Who cares? I mean, it's just painfully fucking boring.
You only got one life. Vape it.
It's painful.
All right.
I mean, dude, I have an IQ of 147. I went to engineering school I went to fucking school for 6 years, dude. Like, this is not over my head. It's just so fucking boring. Like, I cannot sit here and mentally masturbate talking about the same thing that's been talked about 30 fucking times on the last 3 shows. Like, it's just, I can't fucking do it.
We're gonna have BK. We're gonna have BK.
I don't care. I don't give a fuck how the titanium was.
I haven't been in the show the last 3 shows, so I don't know.
No, I just don't fucking care. I don't care how the titanium was extruded. Like, I just don't fucking care. There's no need to talk about it for a fucking hour. It's boring.
Okay.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing your feelings, BK. Mike?
Mike didn't give a shit either.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and hope you all have a good night.
And I think that I'm going to go out on a Kanthal dual coil build. Kanthal.